What's up, it's you? For today's video, we're making full Generation 8 signature Pokemon moves team. That was a mouthful. So pretty much what this team is going to be all about is Generation 8 Pokemon using only their signature move or strategies based around their signature move. There's actually a really big list of signature moves, and I'm going to be showcasing the moves off in general, showing what they do, explaining how they work, if they're good, if they're bad, and just generally having some cool entertainment. Now, you guys have told me you like the live battles, but you also like the post-com battles as well. So today's is going to be a post-com. I'm going to be mixing it up on my channel because I know a lot of people like both, and some like others, and some don't. So that's how we're going to be running it on this channel from now on. We've got two battles today. If you're hyped for the theme teams, please leave a like on the video. It definitely helps out my channel. And without further ado, let's enjoy these battles. This is a battle on my Discord. This was against Lars027, and we got a big colossal lead. Now, firstly, we're going to start things off with Morpeko here. Now, Morpeko gets a cool move called Aura Wheel. Now, what Aura Wheel does, it actually has two different typings depending on what mode you're in. So at the moment, we've got full belly mode. Our belly's full, right? We've just eaten a big meal. And however, as the turn ends, we're going to get hungry again. And that is going to turn us into hangry mode. And it's going to make Aura Wheel a dark type. Now, obviously, after you use Aura Wheel, it gives you a +1. Doesn't matter whether you're in hungry or your belly's full. It still gives you a +1 in speed. And it's a really cool, it's sort of like a little hamster on the wheel. You know, in those the little hamsters, like, power stuff. Guys, I got a hamster powering my computer right now. So anyway, I'm going to hit by a heat crash from the Colossal, almost taking me out. I do have a Focus Sash, however, and that's going to change me back at the end of the turn. So every turn, right, the hangry mode or full belly mode kicks in and changes you. So the Protect is actually a really good move to use on it, depending if you want to get stabbed on the Aura Wheel or not. Okay, so Colossal is going to go down. That's good. Getting rid of that Pokemon. I'm not sure, like, if it was just a dedicated lead Pokemon, or it did have Stealth Rock, so it could have been like a dedicated lead. So we've got that down. Now, I have actually left the explanation in for like the Pokemon sets and what my thoughts are, like in between turns as well. But I have cut out like actually skipping into my team because a lot of people seem to like that. Now, they're probably wondering what they're going to swap into this thing. It's very, very fast. But the thing about this Morpeko set, even the one I'm running right, is Adamant Nature, Max Attack, and Max Speed. Even when you run that, it doesn't hit like super, super hard. Now, at the moment, I could go for an Aura Wheel. I'm thinking maybe I should go for a Taunt on this thing, sack off my Morpeko, because Vileplume can have a lot of annoying status moves, right? And I don't really have lots and lots to deal with this Pokemon, other than like some like memes that I've got. So going for the Taunt here in case it tries to set up. If it doesn't set up, that's how it is, right? So we got the Giga Drain coming from Vileplume, and it's going to take my Morpeko out. That's how it is. I was sort of prepared to lose Morpeko. I was pretty happy about that. If it does have any healing moves and just annoying status moves, it cannot use them unless the Taunt wears off or they swap out. So this was pretty funny. Into Surfetch, and Surfetch has a really cool move called Meteor Assault. It's a physical move. It's very, very powerful. It's kind of like, in layman's terms, if you don't play a lot of Pokemon, you're just a casual person, it's pretty much a physical version of Hyper Beam, right? So you use that, and then you got to recharge the turn after. It's got very, very high base power as well. Now, this set was all based around this move. We've got the Scrappy ability, so if Ghost Rider come in, you can definitely hit those guys. And I've also holding the Leak too, so we can get lots of crits going. So I thought the Vileplume, it may attack me. I can pretty much I can live anything it throws at me, right? It can't status me. It's going to go for the Giga Drain, which is a 2-hit KO, which is fine by me. Now, I'm running Max Attack and Max Speed, Jolly Nature. I'm making up that with the crits, right? And I got the Sword Dance as well. So going for a Meteor Shot, this move looks so cool. And man, I would not want to beat that Vileplume. That just got hit in the nether region. So it's going to be going down there with a crit. that did so much damage. Poor, I actually kind of feel like low-key sorry for Vileplume there. So we got a Pokemon down. This is actually pretty good. Its speed isn't the... Unfortunately, it's Surfetch's speed. I'm probably going to call it Farfetch in this battle, heads up. Its speed isn't the greatest, even with Jolly Nature. So at level 100, you're hitting about 250 or something like that. So it's not super duper fast. Now, the only problem is after using Meteor Assault, such a cool move, you are on recharge, so you cannot swap. So that's a definite downside. Recharge moves have a big downside. So commonly, they're not used for that reason. Anyway, so we got a Boom Burst coming from the low-key Toxtricity, and that's going to take out my Surfetch. So if Meteor Assault didn't have that effect, I could have swapped that out to try and get around it. Anyway, so Surfetch, I nearly said it. Surfetch is out, and now we're going to go into Teller. Now, this is another critting strategy. So its move is a Snipe Shot, which is really, really cool. It's a water-type move and has a chance of critting. So I thought I can make a nice little critting set with this one. I may have used this one already in a couple of battles or one battle. So go for Snipe Shot. I didn't really have time to set up any focus energies or anything like that. I'm running a max speed and max special attack set. We've got Tim and Nature on this one, and obviously the crits making up for the little bit of loss in power if I was going to run Modest. So I'm going to get Nuzzled there, which is kind of annoying. That's going to do a little bit of damage, and it's going to obviously basically get rid of my speed. So Toxtricity is easily going to be able to outspeed me now and go for the overdrive, and that is my Inteleon down. I have to get rid of this Toxtricity now. It's absolutely destroying my team. So I've still got 3 more Pokemon left, so it's time to bring in Eternatus. Now, Eternatus is probably the best Pokemon on my team. Now, I had a little rule of thumb using this Pokemon. It's got 2 signature moves as well, which are really cool. It's got Dynamax Cannon, so it does more damage to Dynamax Pokemon. It also has Eterna Beam. Now, Eterna Beam is kind of like Farfetch's Meteor Assault. It's a special move. However, once you use it, you've got to recharge. So there's quite a few cool recharge moves. So going for the Dynamax Cannon here at the moment, and Toxtricity is obviously going to go down to that one. We've got max speed and max special attack. Now, Eterna Beam, obviously, once you have like a recharge on that one, you sort of have to wait a turn right. Now, I've got the item Eject button, so I could go for an Eterna Beam, and if they somehow live right, like a sash, anything like that, they can hit me again, eject me out of the battle, then I will not have a recharge, which is the strategy I'll be mainly running. Now, I wasn't allowed to actually put Eterna Beam as the last attack. I felt that was a little bit overpowered with my Eternatus, so I made a rule of thumb that I had to use Eterna Beam during the battle and not wait to the last Pokemon, because it's very, very powerful. Alright, so we got another Inteleon coming out here. It's a cool shiny one. It's going to pop me there with an Ice Beam, and it actually outspeeds me too, and as you can see, my eject button is going to eject me out of the battle. But the problem is, right, I actually wasn't able to use Eterna Beam or even like Dynamax Cannon because it outsped me, so I didn't even get a chance to attack, and there's Stealth Rocks on the field, so Eternatus is in a lot of trouble there. This Inteleon is actually a pretty good counter. So now we're going to go into my Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl was the MVP of my team. This set is actually really, really good. I made this one up myself, and I really hope you like it. So we're going to be making use of Prankster. So Prankster is a very good ability, and we're going to be making use of Bulk Up, Rest, Sleep Talk, and of course, its signature ability. Now, we got another Ice Beam there. I'm very, very tanky. I'm running max health, max special defense with the leftovers, and Grimmsnarl's got a good health stat as well, so it's able to tank these hits pretty nicely. Now, it's obviously its move Spirit Break, it's stab, it's nice, and it also drops the opponent's special attack 100% of the time. So if you think about it, in matchups, if you're already bulky on the special side, right, and you're bulking up to boost your attack and your defense, and you've got a move to drop the opponent's special attack, there is not a lot of chance for them to actually get around it in case, save a critical hit, right? So it can become a very, very bulky sweeper, and well, when you look at it, it's actually got priority healing and attacking with the Sleep Talk and Rest. So I thought that was a really good strategy. I've swept a lot of Pokemon and people with this set, so definitely give it a try. It's a little bit more of a mean with Rest and Sleep Talk, but it still has I reckon it still has a good place in a Pokemon team. Alright, so we're going to hit by another Ice Beam here. We're going to go for a Spirit Break. The good thing is, even if you're on a low amount of health, you can just go for like a rest afterwards. But Inteleon lives on 1 health. It's actually, I was like really surprised that it lived right. So getting a little bit more leftover recovery. I'm forced to go for a rest here because I didn't think it would actually live. There's still 2 other Pokemon which I'm sort of like worried about. But mainly Inteleon is a problem, right? So going for the rest here, obviously they didn't know that I had rest. This is Choice Scarfed as well, if you didn't already realize there. So I was like, I'm definitely going to take this out, and it didn't take it out. I didn't have any attack EV, so that's, obviously that's why I, didn't take it out. I think I actually got a low roll in damage calculation there too. So Grimmsnarl is easily be able to take these attacks. The special attack from the special attack drop from Spirit Break actually really helped out too. So this like only critical hits can really get around this. Even a very powerful attack, it'd have to be a very, very powerful special attack, and for me to not be able to hit them with a Spirit Break, right? That's pretty much the only way to get around this set. So now we've got Charizard coming in there. It's going to be a shiny. Shiny always looks really cool on Charizard. Doesn't really matter what game, right? So going for that Sleep Talk there, hoping maybe for a Spirit Break. That is like really, really handy. And I got a Spirit Break, and that is going to drop Charizard's special attack. Now, it does a sizable chunk of damage to Charizard, even though it's not very effective. And if Charizard is running a special set, right, it's going to help me out a lot. So if it wants to G-Max, G-Spot, Dynamax, D-Spot, anything like that, we're going to be good to go against it. So I can go for another Sleep Talk here and hopefully get another Spirit Break, and then I could either choose to rest off or go for another Spirit Break to take out the Charizard. That was sort of like what my options were. All right, so anyway, we've got a G-Spot Charizard. It really does look good. It's probably one of the more better looking shiny G-Max Pokemon. So it's going to get a little bit more boost in health there because they actually remembered, unlike me, to give Dynamax candies to their Pokemon. I'm going to be asleep here. I just reckon this set's really good, right? You get priority healing, you get priority attacking, and you're bulky. You don't always get to attack. Obviously, that's sort of like the fly in the ointment on this set, but it's still pretty good. You have to get very, very unlucky, like rest twice in a row would be bad. Anyway, so obviously you can see how well I tanked that Wildfire then. That was due to all the special attack drops from earlier. Now, Wildfire does do the effect of like Fire Spin, and it does a little bit of extra damage each turn, which is pretty much going to knock off my leftovers damage and maybe like a little bit more. So I need to take this Charizard out. One to two more will take it out. One if I get a crit, like two if I don't. So we're going to have a max airstream from Charizard. Charizard is already going to be outspeed like all of my Pokemon, so I wasn't really worried about that. I was actually mainly worried about getting a critical hit against this thing. So I got to at least like stall this out 3 turns. Going for the Spirit Breaker, it doesn't quite take it out, but now I can go for another rest and just take it out, right? So I'm going to have a little bit more damage from that, putting me into red. However, the leftovers will still give me enough health to live, you know, the next attack. So I was thinking, should I just go for the Spirit Break, or maybe I should go for another rest? I really needed to go for another rest. Like, usually I don't want to like stall the opponent out, but I had nothing. The Pokemon you see would get absolutely wrecked by Inteleon and Charizard, right? So I'm going to go for another sleep here. Going back to sleep, I need one more attack to take the Charizard. Now the Charizard G-Spot is actually going to run out in maybe another, no, it's actually this turn. So this, at the moment, it's honestly, it's probably about a 6 or 7 hit KO. Obviously the effects of that Fire Spin. I'm just going to call it Fire Spin. The G-Max Wildfire doesn't help either. I reckon about 5 hit KO around there. And if I drop a special attack even further, the Spirit Break, it's going to like be longer and longer and longer. So Charizard is finally back to its normal form there. It's only got a little bit of health left. I only need to hit it once, and I can go for a Sleep Talk and hopefully get a Spirit Break and take it out, right? So go for that Prankster Sleep Talk. You guys have got to try this out. So good. I'm in a really good, like, strong position at the moment. I still got my Eternatus. The problem with Eternatus is that Choice Scarf Inteleon will take me out with Ice Beam. You guys seen the damage it did before. Plus, the incoming Stealth Rock damage could be like a really, really big problem. So I pretty much just had to sit on this Grimmsnarl and see if I can take out like a couple of these threats. So I'm going to get the Sleep Talk. Unfortunately, I don't attack. I get Bulk Up. That's not too bad, but I'm thinking like, I'd rather get an attack and just take this out. Charizard goes for a Focus Mist, trying to drop my special defense, and it misses. Oh, man. Thank you, Focus Mist. Thank you, Focus Mist. I don't think it would have done a lot of damage. I think they're just going for a special defense drop, right? So getting some leftovers recovery. Now, I was thinking, well, Charizard isn't really a problem anymore. The only problem Pokemon is the last one, which you guys haven't seen yet, and the Inteleon, if it does get a crit. That's really the only way they will be able to get around this set. Also, I really like Grimmsnarl's design, too. Do you guys like Grimmsnarl's design? Anyway, so just at the moment, I was waiting for them to make a move because they were in quite a tough spot. Like, they were versing a very tanky Pokemon. They only had a couple of Pokemon left, and they were both on low health. So they really just had to go for it to try and take me out here. So going for that Sleep Talk, hoping I could take the Charizard out there. And I get Bulk Up again twice in a row. So, okay, that's not that bad, I guess. I mean, I could have got Rest. I think about it. I haven't even got Rest once. I don't think I've got Rest once. Someone let me know. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I haven't even got Rest once. I could possibly have, though. It's me, right? Anyway, so getting some leftovers recovery there, which is nice. It still put me above half health, and now I can just go for Spirit Break. I'm not going to go for another rest because I don't need to. I feel I'm bulky enough, you know, to take this one out. Now, I also haven't Dynamaxed anyone on my team either. Obviously, I can't Dynamax the Eternatus. It would be nice to G-Max it. I wonder if do you guys reckon we'll get G-Max Eternatus? Like, do you reckon we'll get that? I think it's going to just, like, so broken and it'll be banned instantly. Anyway, so Charizard finally goes down there. There's such a big battle between the Grimmsnarl and Charizard, and it was sort of like a three-way battle, like Grimmsnarl, Inteleon, and Charizard. That went, like, from, like, almost half of the battle. Now, we got 2 more Pokemon left, and I've still got 3 more Pokemon left, so things are looking pretty good, and I've got a beefed up Grimmsnarl. So in comes Inteleon again. I'm like, here we go. I can just take this out with one shot. It doesn't even matter. I don't need to heal off or anything. It's not going to do much damage at all. Like, even if it, even if I don't, like, drop its special attack. So now we got the Inteleon go for a snipe shot, which is a signature move too, which is really cool. And guess what, guys? I got critted by the snipe shot. I think you guys probably, like, felt that was going to happen. So, unfortunately, I've lost my best Pokemon at the moment. So, I've got Appletun as my last Pokemon. Appletun gets a really cool move called Apple Acid, and I'm going to be running this one on a Ripen, Starfberry, Dragapulse, Recover, Recycle set. So, Apple Acid is, like, super cool. It's a Grass-type move, and it obviously has 100% chance of dropping the opponent's special defense by 1 stage. So, you can pretty much stack this big boy up. And you don't even have to give it any special attack EVs if you don't want. I mean, you could even make it like a sweeping one, but if you don't want to, you can make it like really bulky and just keep dropping the opponent's special defense over and over. And then essentially it's like giving yourself a +1 in attack if the opponent stays in. Anyway, so I'm going to turn myself into a big apple pie. I had the best apple pie today. It was so good. Shout out to anyone that likes apple pie. All right, I actually did I did an Applin sweep, and I've done a Appletun sweep. Actually, no, I haven't done Appletun sweep. That's the only apple I haven't done. So going for the that was the G move, not the G move, the Dynamax move, and Inteleon is going to go down. Inteleon is Choice Scarf. Remember, it would have gone for Ice Beam if it wasn't, but obviously they didn't want to swap their last Pokemon into that, which is understandable. So down goes the Inteleon. This is their last Pokemon now. I've got a Eternatus left. Now, Eternatus obviously was very, very scared off by Inteleon, so I still got that one in the back, which is really nice there, and my eject button is gone too. Eject button won't work as well if you, obviously, it's your only Pokemon. There's nothing to eject out into. Okay, so the last Pokemon is Sirfetch'd, and this is another Pokemon. Like, we've got, like, another Pokemon on my team, so we had 2 of the same. Now, I can go for a Dragon move, or, like, Max Wormwind, or I can go for Max Overgrowth. Both of the moves will be like pretty good. Like Appletun is a decent special attack set, even if you don't run anything. Now this was as follows: Max Health and this is a Max Health, Max Special Attack set, and I was hoping on obviously the Starfberry to boost all my stats. So I'm going to be eating that. Look how big that berry was, man! And I'm going to get a speed boost. So Speedy Appletun going for that max growth there. This is going to be doing a lot of damage. If you do note, the terrain is up. We're going to grow a couple of shrooms, and Sirfetch'd is going to go down. And that, my friends, is the first battle. It went for a very, very long time there, and it was a really cool battle. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thanks to the battle, Lars. And let's get on to the second one. I need a drink. Got some red, it's not cordial, it's like a red tea. All right, this is the battle against Mr. Gutsword on my Discord. Once again, my Discord is in the description of the video. I do all my battles mostly there. Also, it's a good community over there too. So if you want to join some raid battles, trade people, you know, come on over. So, speaking of Appletun, we got a Appletun lead. So, every battle I pretty much started with Morpeko because they had Focus Sash as its item. And Focus Sash had a tendency to get, you know, wrecked when the opponent started with, like, Stealth Rock or anything like that, right? So, I was thinking, what should I do to this Appletun? What I want to do first is go for Protect, and I want to put myself in a hungry state. I'm actually, you know what? In real life, I'm in hangry form, so I'm really hungry, but I got to go to the gym soon, so I can't eat. One time I went to the gym and I did burpees with, I don't know what I ate, and I was feeling like doing burpees afterwards. So we got a Aura Will, Protect, Parting Shot. That's sort of my strategy, right, to do that. And of course I got Protect too. We're going to go for a little Aura Will. Does a lot of damage to 69 calorie pie. Getting that crit too. A 69 calorie pie. That's actually amazing. So now we've got a physical Appletun set there. It's going to be taking me all the way down to my Focus Sash. Obviously, definitely running, I'd say that'd be Adam and Nature for sure. Not that Morpeko is very bulky, but Appletun's attack is, it's probably not the greatest in the world. So, living on 1 health, your merch is available, guys. Thank you to all the people who've actually got my merch over the 2019 period too. If that does interest you, it's below my videos in that little shelf thing or in my description. So, 69 calorie pie, we got to get rid of that. So, go for the Parting Shot there. Whispering a couple of little sweet nothings in that little pie's ear, and then we're going to swap into another one of our Pokemon. So this Pokemon was actually the most useless Pokemon on my team for this battle. You'll begin to see why in a second. So now we've got an Earthquake from the Appletun there, and obviously it's not going to hit very hard because I have the Parting Shot, and it still did pretty good damage, so it definitely tells me it's either it could be Choice Scarfed or Choice Banded. I'm more thinking at this stage it's Choice Banded. So I was like, okay, let's go for Substitute. I'm going to sub down into a berry. I've got a Potato Berry on this set. So I need one more Substitute to actually activate that. And that'll put me in Torrent range too. It'll give me a +1 in special attack. And it'll have the power, no, Snipe Shot, will be basically at its most powerful. If I had the crit, that'd be very, very powerful too. Unfortunately, I don't have the room to go for focus energy, so I cannot do that. So I'm going to go for a final substitute here, putting me on 4 health there. Thank goodness I almost couldn't use my substitute and getting myself a nice boost in special attack. So Appleton is going to go for another Earthquake there. I'm definitely sure that it's choice banded, and that is going to break my substitute. Earthquake actually looks pretty cool compared to what it did before. Was that Bulldoze? One of them looked like really cool. It either was Bulldoze, Earthquake, or Magnitude. It had like a super cool animation. Now, my only move to use is Snipe Shots. It's like, okay, if I can get this crit, I should be able to take Appleton out like all of the resistances, right? Appleton lives. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, even with Torrent range, Potato Berry, and Snipe Shot, it didn't take it out. Max special attack +1. You guys are probably wondering why I sent that in. Like, why would you send in a Pokemon that has all those resistances? You'll find out very, very soon. So now we've got a Morpeko. I was like, Morpeko, just come in, clean this pie up. Okay, like the pie's on the plate, right? You know, it's when you have like that really nice pie for like Christmas, your birthday, and there's like this tiny little slice left, and 10 people, like they're low-key eyeing it off, that you just come in there, take that slice, like just absolute savage, and eat it in front of them. I've done that before every single time. Anyway, so Appleton is down, eating that last slice of pie. I'm going to be changing back into my hangry form. Kath loved editing the hangry form and the full belly form every single time it changed. She absolutely loved me for that. Anyway, so we've got one Pokemon down, which is good. Now, I'm wondering, you know, what Pokemon are they going to send in? And yes, of course, you may have guessed it, they are running a full Appleton team. 6 Appleton. That is why I used my Inteleon with Snipe Shot so early, because it pretty much couldn't do anything. So we got another physical Appleton. Appleton's going to have Sucker Punch, and Morpeko is going to go down. So they're running 6 different Appletons with all like 6 different sets. So I like to do this a lot in my theme teams too, when I run like a 6 version of a Pokemon. All right, man, that means like 6 little hats. So we're going to go for a Meteor Assault here. Farfetch is just going to absolutely like annihilate Thick. I'm going to try and say that name. Thickaleton? Thickaleton. That's actually a really good name. And Thickaleton, that's like, seriously, that's when you get like a pie. You take the biggest bite out of it, right? Because you still taste pastry. You don't taste that sweet center, man. You got to take that extra bite just to get to the center. That was like 3 C's. All right, so apple pie is going to come in there. Man, this is making me hungry. Like, we need to do like a full pie team. So, obviously, I'm going to be a recharge here. And man, this pie is going to drop the Draco on my Surfetch. And Surfetch is a very bulky. This thing's got a big special attack, and it's going to be going down in one shot. So half my team is already gone. Man, these Pokemon are thick, man. So I was thinking, okay, you guys probably think I've got Eternatus, right? But remember, the rule for using Eternatus is I cannot use I can't wait till the last Pokemon to use Eterna Beams. Like, I don't want to actually sack my Eternatus off yet, because I'd have to use Eterna Beam. That's sort of like my self-rule to like keep things fair using that kind of Pokemon. So I'm going to bring in my own Appleton. I was like, I should be able to live like that one really nicely. It's quite bulky in special defense. They've already got a negative in special attack already. And I'm going to get like hopefully a boost in special attack, and I get one in defense. I was like, actually doesn't really help me out too much. So go for the Dragon Pulse there. That's better than like Apple Acid at the moment. That was pretty good damage. It's about a 2-hit KO on the opposing apple pipe. Now it's like, okay, let's recycle that berry. Like, we got this pot, we got like a little berry on top of the pie. A kid comes along and grabs the berry, and then mum's like, yeah, damn son, we got to put that berry back on top. That's pretty much what I'm doing at the moment. So unfortunately for me, right, we get that staff berry, and I get defense again. What Staffberry does, it gives you a random, obviously it's a random boost in stat by 2 stages, and unfortunately for me, I got like defense twice. I can't believe it. Even if I got like plus special defense, plus special attack, like something like that would have been like super helpful, but I got unlucky there, unfortunately. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left, and you guys, I'm going to swap in my Grimmsnarl. So Grimmsnarl and Eternatus were the best Pokemon against this team. I wanted to leave them to last because I wanted to see how many I could take out. Plus, if they had a counter to these like really, really early on in the game, if I lost them, that could give me like 0 hope in taking the other ones out. So we got 4 apples to take. Out comes Pickleton, right? Pickleton and shiny. Look at that green hat, man. I think it's green hat is about the only difference in the shinies, I think. Yeah, it is. It's just the green hat, the little like apple sort of green hat. Okay, I went for Spirit Break, did some pretty good damage to Pickleton. I'm going to go for Spirit Break again. I'm not going to go for Bulk Up. I've got to get rid of these pies, man. These pies, man, they're creamy. So go for that, a Spirit Break there, and Pickleton is going to go down. I didn't even give Pickleton a chance, man. Anything with Pickle, the nickname, I just get rid of it straight away because I know it's just going to be a straight troll. So we got we got 3 more pickle, well, not pickle tons, 3 more apple tons. Man, I'm calling it pickle ton now. We got 3 more pickle tons, apple tons to go. I'm going to call it pickle ton for the rest of this battle up. So Applesaurus is going to come out. What is Applesaurus going to do? Now, I was possibly thinking about going for bulk up and spamming this, and I thought, no, if it's like a very offensive set, I better get some damage on it like ASAP. So Spirit Break just does under half there, dropping the special attack of the Applesaurus. We've seen a lot of like special attacking ones already, and now we got a bulky one setting up Iron Defense. Iron Defense looks like super cool in this game. Iron Defense actually look really good in Gen 7 too. It's like a big, instead of, like in Gen 7 it was a big like metal rectangle. This one was actually a shield, and they sort of did the same thing. Great animation. So going for the Spirit Break again, we're doing some like a lot less damage than before due to the Iron Defense, but I thought I can either start like bulking up here and just do it, like I could go for the game against them. However, they're getting like a lot more defensive boost than me, so I need a lot more. So they're going to go for the Ripen, and Citrus Berry is going to double there. They went for the body press. A pie just landed in my eye, and it critted me too. That did a lot of damage, man. That critical is crazy. So at this point, I need to get some damage on this thing. I thought, if it's got any other ways that, like, maybe it's, like, hopefully it doesn't have recycle, because that could be really bad. I need to attack this thing and put it in a low range, so then I can bring Eternatus in and, you know, take it out. That is sort of my best bet at the moment. So going for that bulk up there, like the previous battle, I was hoping like Grimmsnarl could get me back into this. And now we're going to hit by another pie. It does a lot of damage, almost taking me out there. If that was a crit, I was definitely going to go down. So this is the point where I had to make a decision. Should I go for a rest here, or will I allow them to set up on me and do lots of damage? Like, they could essentially go for more iron defenses, and I could be in a worse spot than before. So it's like, no, I'm going to go for Spirit Break, put this thing in around half health, then bring Eternatus in and go for the Dynamax Cannon, right? That was sort of like what my plan was. So now we've got Body Press again. Body Press is such a cool move. What it does actually uses your defense and attacks the opponent, which is like a super cool move. Right, peoples, we are down to the last Pokemon, which is Eternatus. Now, remember my rule. I had to use Eterna Beam. I wasn't allowed to use it on the last Pokemon. I had to use it once. So I was like, should I use Eterna Beam now? Like, it depends what set they're running, or should I go for Dynamax Cannon? I was wondering what, like, I was like, let's go for Dynamax Cannon. I'll use Eterna Beam on the next Pokemon. So going for that Dynamax Cannon, and this animation looks really cool. Like, both of its moves, like, look super, super cool. Eterna Beam actually looks even better than one. So Applesaurus is going to go join its little fossils there under the soil on planet Earth. How did the dinosaurs pass anyway? Maybe they got hit by meteors. What do you guys think? Does anyone know a lot about dinosaurs or has theories? I think it's only theories, right? The meteors sort of took them out. So we got Apple Pie coming in. I was like, okay, I have to use it against Apple Pie. I was kind of hoping they'd bring in their other one, but they didn't. So here we go, Eterna Beam. Now, Eterna Beam sort of looks like something out of like Alien versus Predator. Like, it goes up into the sky, right? And this big old hand comes out, and it fires this like really like crazy laser. It looks really, really cool. Probably the most awesome looking move in Gen 8, I'd say. So Apple Pie there, man, that just got absolutely annihilated. There is only one more pie left, and what set is it going to be? Now, I could have gone for Dynamax Cannon there, but I didn't want to. Once again, I wanted to use it because it's such an overpowered Pokemon. I had to nerf it a little bit, right, using those kind of moves. So Apple God is going to come out. I was like, oh, wait. Apple God, this is going to be, I know this is going to be a G-Spot Apple. So G-Spot Apple's going to pop. It's in a repeat ball too. I was actually, a lot of people use Master Balls on the G-Max Pokemon. I've got quite a few too, especially when you see the shiny ones. So we got a big apple. I love how it starts off as an apple, then its eyes and its neck sort of like pop out of the apple. Looks really cool. So Apple God, I only need to fire one Dynamax Cannon at Apple God, not Apple Bob, and it's going to go down. So we got a max Whirlwind here. I'm like, oh dear. And Eternatus is going to get turned into a Turnipus, and that is down. I hope you people enjoyed both these battles. It was really fun using the signature moves. I hope you learned something new. Hope you found it entertaining, and I should be back for another theme team this week. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe if you're new, and drop a like on the video if you're not. Peace.